So, this is your book. How proud of you are of this book?
A lot.
What was it like to write this book?
This was a difficult task because there was so much research.
And what do you want people to get out of your book?
I want them to get the essence of what can possibly be as an unlimited adventure into the world.
And what's your hopes and dreams for the people of the planet Earth?
Well, to realize their human potential in every way, to realize that their consciousness can be raised to where everyone can be gifted in their own way. We don't have to have dumb people. We don't have to have sick people. We actually can have people that can attain a much higher human potential.
And what makes you believe that?
The research. Simple as that. And I've experienced it myself. I came from a childhood of deprivation, working in the fields, being born in a war, and I was told I wasn't college material. And so now I'm an accelerated learner, and I know and have experienced the true potential of myself and other people around me, and I see their genius, and I see my own as well. And I just know we could do so much more on this planet in every way. People from nations all over the world. We don't have to be killing each other to find out truth. We just basically have to see the real truth that's inside of everyone.
What makes you happy?
What makes me happy? I think what makes me happy is just to know that I can be of service and to know that I am able to tap into my fullest human potential. When I know that I can be used in umpteen ways to serve mankind and also to serve God, I feel happy. There's just meaning to my life whenever I'm happy. And I'm very happy most of the time. So I look for ways to create meaning.
So where do you get your inspiration from?
I get my inspiration from many ways. Prayer, nature, other people, people that I have met years ago, like you, Scott Marvel. Just seeing the growth that's in you. When I see one of my students that I have taught many years ago and I see where they are today, I'm inspired. I see what a legacy can do, what just one single seed, how that can grow into this wonderful tree. What can happen to that same person who was this child that was perhaps having learning disabilities, and then seeing them now having this great career and able to tap into a much higher way of living than what that child did when she or he was young. So that inspires me to see other people grow and even to see my own children reach their potential. And just anyone, when I know that something has been unleashed in a person, and certainly in myself as well, that makes me feel like, wow, there's more out there to give, and there's more out there to receive as well.
So if there's one thing you think people need to know in order to reach their potential, what's the one thing people really need to understand in order to get smarter?
They need to know that they have it all inside of them. Every single human being has the incredible capacity to be very, very gifted. If Helen Keller was mute, blind, just couldn't even hear, and she was brilliant, what about us? My goodness me, we have so many neurons, and each one of those neurons can make up to 20,000 different connections. Certainly we are all very gifted. We can't be anything but gifted, but the question is, do we use our giftedness, and do we see that we can be?
So what is it going to take to unleash that in every person on the planet?
First of all, knowing that we can be, just believing that we can be, and respecting everyone's unique differences. So I'm gifted in many different ways, and someone else is differently gifted than I am, and so we need to respect one another's gifted traits, learning styles, talents, We all have unique abilities to be who we are and to let that shine.
So what happened to you when you realized that you were gifted? How did you feel that or experience that inside yourself?
Well, I didn't see that until I was much older in life, first of all. Most of my life, there was a lot of shame. A lot of the stories that I wrote as a child and the poems that I wrote as a child, I threw them into the fireplace because I didn't have value on myself. I didn't think I was worth being a writer, for example. And now that I have become an accelerated learner, now that I know how to accelerate learning in others and in myself, I now have attained that capacity to know that I am gifted. And yeah, I can help others to be the same.
Could you explain how it made you feel? Because it gets me kind of giddy and excited and I feel expanded. How does it affect you when you're sort of in that mode?
Okay, well, some people call that the zone. And I tap into that zone whenever I need to. Sometimes if I feel a little overwhelmed, I tap into that zone through music, for example. That's one way I tap into it. Put on a favorite piece, like Vangelis, the piece called Missing. That piece just really revs me up so that I can then tap into a greater learning state, or I can study better, or I can do some reading that I've always wanted to do. So music would be one way that I get my inspiration. Another way would be through prayer. Just going inside and working with that higher power, that connection with a higher power, knowing that there's purpose for me here on earth, that there is meaning here, and truly that there's a mission for me. Something is important for me to do, just to discover that within myself. And so I spend time in prayer. Another thing that I do is sometimes just talking to someone who also is an inspiration, or reflecting back on people that have been an inspiration in my life, looking at the geniuses of the past, like Helen Keller and yeah, Einstein, just anyone, but even just people in my everyday life. They are wonderful geniuses in their own way, and especially children. I love looking at the genius of children. They show it right from birth onward. And in fact, really, we're already geniuses the moment the sperm and the egg comes about to be, because just within a few weeks, there's already the beginning of the brain.